All right, students, we are moving to 4.2. Last week was our first attempt at online learning, and 4.2 talks about the concept of slope. So if you have not watched or done the notes for 4.2, I suggest that that's the first thing that you do is take those video notes to be able to get the slope formula for these particular problems. We're now going to do some extra practice on 4.2. Please follow along. You can print out or open up the 4.2 practice worksheet to be able to follow along. But the objective of this slope lesson is to get you a little bit more familiar with using the slope formula. So what we're going to do is we're going to start up here in the top right-hand screen with the concept of what is the slope formula. This is going to be a y minus y divided by x minus x. You should have gotten that from your notes. What I like to do is to take specific points and line them up on top of each other. For instance, if I use number 1 and I signal in here, the point 2, 9 and negative 1, 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the points, it doesn't matter which one, 2, 9, and then I'm going to put right underneath of them negative 1, positive 3. And then I'm going to create a slope concept of 9 minus 3 divided by 2 minus a negative 1. Be very careful with the concepts of minus a negative so that you don't get confused with that. So then my answer becomes 9 minus 3 is 6. 2 minus a negative 1 is like 2 plus 1. And then we're going to get 3 for an answer there. So then 6 divided by 3 is a positive 2. If you want to check, this is a positive line that goes up and to the right. It's an increasing line. Increasing line will give you a positive slope. Okay, so number 2. All right, we move on to number 2. Number 2 takes negative 3, negative 2, and positive 3, negative 6. So we're going to do negative 3, negative 2, and then positive 3, negative 6. And you can see that this is a decreasing line. So using our slope formula, we're going to take the y coordinates. The y coordinates negative 2 minus negative 6. And we're going to divide that by negative 3 minus 3. So this together is going to be a positive 4 divided by negative 6. So this simplifies then to 2 over negative 3. So that gives you a slope value of 2 over negative 3. All right, so now we look at number 3. Okay, number 3 is a little bit different. You can see that the slope of the line is straight across. All right, so that straight across line is going to give us a different slope. Imagine if we were walking along that line, you would not have any resistance walking along this line that way. You would not be having any slope to it. So we either have a concept of no slope, or we call that a zero slope. All right. All right. So it's either one of those two, and we're going to figure out which one this is by taking the same formula. We're going to take the same formula that we've been using, and we're going to use 2, 4, and -2, 4, and we're going to subtract. All right. So the slope value is going to be 4 minus 4, and this is 2 minus -2. This simplifies down to 4 minus 4 is 0. 2 plus -2, or 2 plus 2 is 4. And this is actually a 0 slope. Okay? So, if I pointed to which one that is, we're going to call this a 0 slope. Okay, very important concept for you to learn as you go into integrated 1. All right, now the opposite then would obviously be whether or not we're going to use positive or -1, +2, and then -1, -3. So now we have a slope value of 2 minus -3 divided by -1 minus, let me erase that here for a second. Minus that -1, which is like a plus. So that's going to equal 5 divided by 0. Well, you can't divide by 0. By 0. So therefore, we call that no slope. So no slope on this one. And if you simply looked at the concept of whether or not you could if you were walking this way, you would run into that wall. You could not Spider-Man up this wall. All right. You cannot do that. So, we don't really consider a vertical line to have a slope. All right. Because it's not able to walk up along down this line. So there is the particular problems that you would like to see on 4.2. I'm going to share this on the PowerSchool website for you to begin next week. And I hope and wish you nothing but the best of luck.